Welcome to the Update Loop, bringing you the latest news from around the world. In the early hours of a humid Manila morning, few could have predicted the news that would soon ripple across the globe. A joint venture between the Philippine National Oil Company and international energy firms confirmed a discovery of unprecedented scale. Deep beneath the Palawan Basin, a reservoir estimated to hold over 100 billion barrels of recoverable light sweet crude oil was identified. This single find is larger than the entire proven reserves of established petrostates like Nigeria or Kazakhstan. Overnight, the Philippines catapulted into the top 10 countries for oil reserves, altering the world's energy landscape. The Luzon supergiant field is not just a geological marvel, it's a geopolitical game-changer. The sudden emergence of a new major player in Southeast Asia introduces a powerful and unpredictable variable into the global energy equation. The Philippines now sits atop a resource that can fuel its own development for a century and reshape the Indo-Pacific region. Brent crude prices experienced their steepest single-day drop in over a decade, while the Philippine peso and stock market soared. Conversely, Russia's markets took a significant hit, signaling a threat to its position as a primary energy supplier. The Luzon supergiant's reserves could, in theory, satisfy China's oil demand for nearly 2 decades. The Philippines has been thrust from the periphery to the center of the global energy conversation. The nation's journey from energy importer to potential superpower has begun, and the world is watching. The oil discovery has revolutionized the Philippine economy. The government swiftly established the Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund to manage the flood of petrodollars, channeling revenues into infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Initial capital from signing bonuses and licensing fees alone exceeded the previous year's national budget. Massive infrastructure projects are underway, including new deepwater ports and a nationwide high-speed rail network. The energy sector is booming, creating hundreds of thousands of high-paying jobs and stimulating growth in related industries. Oil revenues have eliminated the budget deficit, paid down external debt, and expanded social programs without raising taxes. Pensions, healthcare, and free tertiary education have all been expanded. However, the risk of Dutch disease looms as a surging peso threatens other export sectors. The government is using the Wealth Fund to invest in technology and innovation, aiming for broad-based, sustainable development. The challenge is to ensure the oil boom benefits all sectors, not just energy. The Philippines stands at a crossroads: prosperity or the pitfalls of resource dependence. To grasp the magnitude of this shift, compare the Philippines and Russia before the Luzon supergiant discovery. The Philippines was a newly industrialized, energy-dependent nation, vulnerable to global price shocks and reliant on remittances. Russia, in contrast, was a petrostate with oil and gas exports fueling its budget and global influence, but its economy was undiversified and brittle. The Philippines had a young, growing population and potential for diversified growth, while Russia faced demographic decline and stagnation. The stage was set for a dramatic reversal of fortunes. International institutions praised the Philippines' management, but warned of energy vulnerability. Russia was cautioned for over-reliance on hydrocarbons. No one foresaw the Philippines' greatest weakness becoming its strength, or Russia's strength facing an unexpected challenge. The discovery flipped the script for both nations. The global energy order would never be the same. The year since the discovery has seen a stunning economic reversal. The Philippines' GDP growth forecast for 2025 has soared to 14%, making it the world's fastest-growing major economy. Foreign investment is flooding in, not just in oil, but across finance, real estate, and manufacturing. The national debt-to-GDP ratio is projected to fall below 30%, and foreign reserves now exceed $500 billion. Russia, meanwhile, faces stagnation, capital flight, and a weakened ruble as oil prices drop. The Philippines is on track to surpass $1 trillion in GDP within 5 years, potentially overtaking Russia by 2030. This economic rebalancing challenges the post-Cold War order. For the Philippines, oil wealth offers a chance to tackle poverty and invest in a knowledge-based economy. For Russia, it's an existential challenge demanding urgent diversification. The oil discovery has accelerated these trends, forcing a reckoning for the Kremlin. The era of easy oil money is ending for Russia, but just beginning for the Philippines. The Luzon supergiant field has reshaped the South China Sea's geopolitical landscape. The discovery, within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, has given Manila unprecedented leverage. The Philippines secured the area with new defense treaties and a petro-security alliance with the US, Australia, Japan, and South Korea. China's overlapping claims have become untenable, leading to a de-escalation of naval activity and a more conciliatory tone from Beijing. China is now a primary customer for Luzon crude, creating economic interdependence and regional stability. The Philippines is emerging as a swing state in global politics, courted by major powers for energy deals. Its influence now extends beyond ASEAN, shaping global energy policy and diplomatic alignments. By developing the field within international law, the Philippines sets a precedent for peaceful maritime dispute resolution. The Luzon supergiant has reinforced the rules-based international system. The Philippines is now a major power in its own right. Oil wealth is triggering profound social changes in the Philippines. Optimism and national pride are rising as social programs improve millions of lives. Poverty rates are falling, and access to education and healthcare is expanding. However, rapid transformation brings risks, corruption, cronyism, and social inequality. The government has implemented radical transparency for the Wealth Fund, with real-time audits and empowered civil society watchdogs. Urbanization is accelerating, straining cities like Manila and Puerto Princesa. Decentralized development aims to spread benefits and avoid overcrowded megacities. The return of overseas Filipino workers is reuniting families and reshaping national identity. The challenge is to preserve Filipino values amid prosperity and global attention. The Philippines must build a modern, wealthy society without losing its cultural heritage. The Philippines' rise as an oil superpower directly challenges Russia's economic model and global standing. Russia's near monopoly over Eurasian energy is broken, forcing it to offer deep discounts and eroding its geopolitical leverage. European and Asian nations now have a major non-Russian alternative, diminishing Moscow's power. Reduced revenues limit Russia's ability to finance foreign interventions and project influence. The shift in energy markets may constrain Russian foreign policy more than sanctions ever did. Russia faces a psychological blow as its great power status is challenged by an unexpected rival. The nation must now choose, diversify and modernize, or risk fading into the second tier of global powers. The Luzon supergiant has forced a difficult national conversation in Russia. The world is witnessing a historic shift in the balance of energy power. The oil discovery presents the Philippines with a profound paradox. As one of the world's most climate-vulnerable nations, it now becomes a leading fossil fuel producer. The Luzon supergiant field lies near Palawan's ecological frontier, risking catastrophic environmental damage. The government has mandated advanced drilling technologies and a multi-billion-dollar environmental bond for cleanup and rehabilitation. Globally, the Philippines must reconcile its climate advocacy with its new oil wealth. Activists urge leaving the oil untapped while the government argues for poverty alleviation. The debate centers on climate justice and the responsibilities of newly wealthy nations. The government's Green Pivot strategy aims to use oil revenues to fund a massive transition to renewable energy. The goal: build a world-leading green infrastructure for a post-oil future. It's a high-stakes gamble to turn today's carbon problem into tomorrow's solution. In just a year, the Philippines has been transformed by the Luzon supergiant discovery. The nation has leapt from energy-dependent to economic powerhouse, reshaping Southeast Asia and challenging Russia's dominance. Infrastructure and social development are booming, but immense risks remain. The Philippines must avoid the pitfalls of resource dependence, corruption, and social strain. Most critically, it must resolve the environmental paradox at the heart of its oil boom. The world is watching to see if the Philippines can turn black gold into sustainable prosperity. The institutions built today must withstand the pressures of tomorrow. Will this be the foundation of a new era, or a cautionary tale of paradise lost?